Do you love a clean, simple aesthetic? Do you hate it when things get messy and complicated? Do you think it'd be easier if we were all just animated skeletons, devoid of all that gross, squishy flesh? If so, rest your bones right there. We're taking 5 minutes to talk about playing the Crimson Castellan. I'm Family Man, and this is World Collider. The Crimson Castellan are Grinder Hero Hammer Bone Knights who serve, either willingly or mindlessly, their dark patron, Lydia Rystone. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, but what happens if that woman rules hell? Lydia can tell you. A face sorceress turned evil monarch, Lydia decided she was tired of playing nice after being rejected by her magical kinfolk for loving teeth and hating impurity. This evil tooth fairy straight up conquered her home dimension, building her bone castle, the Spine, on top of magical ley lines. The ley lines attract rifts, and the rifts attract filthy interlopers to the pristine palace. But thankfully, these fastidious osteomancers are always looking for fresh teeth and bones to add to their throne room. No plans for interdimensional domination here. All are welcome to visit the Spine. Just leave your disgusting skin at the door before you let yourself in. Let's take a look at the Macchi chart while we break down the Castellan's game plan. Just like OBM, the Castellan are flexing hard, but this flex is more about applying hate than skirting the rules. Unlike OBM, what you see here is pretty much what you get. A well-tuned force of melee brawlers that love sprinting downfield and thrive when they're stuck in and pulling teeth. But just because they're precise doesn't mean they're boring. The Castellan have as many tools in their toolkit as they do bones in their body. Middling knack requirements are nothing to write home about, but unlike OBM, these bony brutes take care of themselves, typically by recycling corpse tokens. Since all their tricks are on the table, using Castellan tactics is less of a necessity and more like icing on a calcium cake, although there are two you'll want to use as frequently as possible. All of this is in service to, and does not work without, CC's Hero Hammer, the Sculpted Perfection, taking center stage. Leadership 3, plus an ability that can either pay for itself or grant you some bonus AP mid-round. Add in the Tree of Woe, and this leader is not messing around. It'll eat up almost half your budget in a skirmish, but at least it lives up to its name. They say armor's been nerfed, but Crimson Castellan never got that memo. These skeleton warriors have slightly more HP than their futuristic counterparts, and roughly the same armor, but when they turn on enamelized blood, they move from brawling to straight-up T-posing. Weapons-wise, you've got high highs and low lows, with no buffs until bodies hit the floor, so bring your lucky dice. The Maw Beast Melee K6A8D2 is surprisingly honest, since the Castellan package lacks damage buffs, but with tactics and environmental effects that can drop most enemy armor to 0, 8 attempts at 2 damage is usually all it takes. Plus, at 44 points, it's almost a steal for the stats alone. Other stat line standouts include the Porcelain Pair, Archer and Soldier, with their ranged K3A2D6 and near K4A2D5 respectively. Don't sleep on Break Enamel either, it makes them remarkably sticky. There's nothing wrong with strong bones, but what makes the Castellan worth your time? The models. And also, Dat Gas. Death means nothing when you serve Lydia Rystone, so why slow down? Pressure and shenanigans are what the Crimson Castellan were made for. Fire up the Sculpted Perfection and send it, but make sure you have at least 1 or 2 Marrow Mages waiting in the wings. Sprinkle some corpse tokens around the battlefield and these spell-slinging auto-includes really shine. If and when your perfection goes down, don't sweat it. The AoE from Tree of Woe is a huge shot in the arm for the Castellan in later rounds. Plus, you can raise dead on the tree corpse, and if nothing else, your revived perfection can plant new roots at a more valuable location. If pure aggro isn't your thing, that's okay. The Castellan have many rosters that work just fine. By not relying on tactics, you're free to get creative with the game plan. Though Hero Hammer is slightly unavoidable, a proper castle isn't out of the question. Or ditch the leader and take 300 points of Toothless Gits if you're a mad lad. Just make sure you get downfield, and quick, or risk getting winnowed down by ranged attacks. Since corpse tokens are the gas that keep the bone machine rolling, CC does run the risk of stalling out if they get hard zoned. But fear not. Among the synergistic and spooky effects that follow the Castellan through the rift is a 1 in 6 chance that each player kills a model if it can't tank 20 damage, and if not that, other sinister tricks to help level the playing field are just a d6 away. Play fast and to the bone, and the Queen's favor will be yours for the asking. Hesitate even for a second, and you might just end up as dust in the wind. Think I'm right? Think I'm wrong? Head over to the If Worlds Collide Discord and decide for yourself. Link to the Discord, the Crimson Castellan faction page, and to Knarb's Patreon page so you can get your hands on those Castellan models are below in the comments. I'm Family Man. I'll see you next time Worlds Collide.